All right, so this is a video I never really thought I'd be making. I mean, talk about black swan events, or maybe you expect hurricanes, but this is definitely not something I was expecting. But a ton of you guys have been emailing me and calling me, and right now I welcome that because I don't have a whole lot to do at the moment, guys. I gotta be honest with you. I certainly hope that everybody that watches this, a lot of people now for a few years that I've never met except for over email or phone calls, I hope everyone's doing well and being safe. We are all safe here, everyone's in good health, so just trying to get through it. Certainly real estate closings, if they were in process, some of them are happening. If they're not in process, whether it's the lender pulling back, insurance changing regulations, city municipalities not providing permit searches, or sometimes we can't get lien searches back, so that's all been a real challenge. And if you have any questions of any deal that you have going on down here or you're thinking of, let me know, because I've been successfully wading through some of this stuff, but it's not easy at this point. It's taken a lot of teeth pulling to get it done. Obviously, I'm not going to give you guys any slides from last month or year-to-year slides, because I don't know what this is going to look like when we get through it. I wrote a bunch of notes down of things that I wanted to say. I haven't had a haircut in a month. I kind of look like a woolly mammoth, so we went with the hat look today. But so anyways, look, everyone's asking me what's my prediction, how do we come out of this? And the answer is I don't have enough information right now to tell you. A lot of it, in my opinion, depends on the banks. If banks decide, hey, we're really going to tighten up lending because of this, we're going to get strict, and all the government-backed loans, credit scores increase, the employment verifications and such get stricter and stricter, and especially debt to income ratios, if they tighten down on those, well, that's going to mean less lending, and that's going to mean that we're going to have a slowdown in the market. If real estate lending stays the same or expands, as we've been saying for a long time now, I think it depends on the price point you're in to see how this is going to play out. I think the higher end is going to be a bit of a challenge. Generally speaking, people buying on the higher end derive their wealth from the value of their stock market portfolios, et cetera, et cetera. If you're feeling like everything is down right now, you're probably not going to be rushing into a purchase. Now, that being said, there are always reasons people have to purchase, and we are in Florida, and we do have a lot of people that consistently relocate here for tax reasons on the higher end. So it remains to be seen, but I'm a bit skeptical of that higher end. I've been bullish on the lower end of the market. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think people earning wages, so long as the job losses are confined to more restaurant hospitality, and people have found a way to stay employed through this, through jobs that maybe had them working from home, then I think we'll be okay there, which leads me to the next point of, I think this also may shift the marketplace, right? Especially for you commercial owners. Let's say that now companies have seen, hey, look, we had a bunch of people work from home and it didn't go so bad. Everything got done, everything was okay. If that happens and they look at it and say, hey, we could cut the footprint and the money that we're spending on leasing commercial space, have people work from home, have them really come into the office only here and there when they need to, they can really reduce the amount of office space that they'll need, and commercial owners may feel a pinch from that. Conversely, everybody looks for a 3-bed, 2-bath now, but what if we have this change where people already ask for a home office? It's one of the most constant things that I get questions on. But if that starts happening in mass and people start working from home in larger numbers, does a 4-bed, 2-bath become more of the property that everybody wants? Or is it a house with a structure in the back of it that you can use as an office space, kind of some kind of CBS structure, which there's plenty of those down here. A lot of people use them as tool sheds, but at one time, they were pretty big workshops, and those 200 square foot spaces can be converted over, and that can make it more appealing to a buyer. So anyways, there's things like that. We'll see how they play out. Also on the commercial side, do grocery stores move to having a smaller footprint in a retail center because more of this stuff is moved to a distribution hub? If more people use Uber Eats and Instacart and things that everybody's using now, and I think a lot of people are finding convenience in. So I do think it's really interesting from a commercial real estate perspective. And so we'll see how that all plays out. keep in mind on the single family lower end side, interest rates still are at rock bottom, right? So at some point these are going to rise, but there still is now with rates in the threes. I mean, it's a great buying opportunity, first time home buyers. If you come out of this through this with a job, I really think, look, even if the price of the property dips by a little bit, but you can take advantage of 3+% rates. I mean, that's outrageous. It's like free money. You really gotta think about doing it, and pulling the trigger now. So hopefully that helps buoy some of the mid to lower tier price properties. If I bought between 2009 and say 2014, 2015 as an investment, as a second home, do I think about selling now? Yeah, definitely. This is when I would really get serious about pulling the trigger on that. Look, you lock in your gains, and you're gonna have gains if you bought during that period of time. You keep your money, take the risk off the table, and I think so. Right now, if you're in that bracket, get on the phone with me, because I think it's time to evaluate if this is the time to get out, and I think it is. A couple of people have asked me, look, I was thinking about selling. I want to wait and list until after this, and I get that. And I will be honest with you. There isn't anybody coming to see your house if I list it today. I mean, there's going to be nobody walking through that door. What there is a ton of, and I'm seeing on all my active listings, people are saving properties like crazy. Everybody's shopping from home. So I do think day one that this lets up and people are ready to go, man, that first weekend, I think it's going to be a madhouse with people coming in to see properties. So I do think if you're going to list, you list it now. I'm running Matterport tours for everything, which is the virtual tours, so people can sit through their house and walk through the whole home. So I think as an agent, if you position it right, then it's not a bad time to get the house out there. As long as the seller understands we're not getting a contract tomorrow, but it's going to drive a lot of people now that are sitting home bored to look at that listing. So from that perspective, I do think it's a really good time to list. If you do list, where do you price? Look, you got to get aggressive. You have to go below the most recent comparable sale. There's no question about it. The only question is how far are you willing to go below that most recent sale? It's a foregone conclusion right now. So look, bottom line for me is this. We're a lot better than we were in 2008, mainly because the purchases for years down here in South Florida, there wasn't a bank lending for a long time, right? Everybody was a cash purchase, and you looked at this time and time again, cash deal, cash deal, cash deal. Well, we're buoyed because of that. We don't have a lot of leverage in our marketplace. Some of these other areas where people are highly levered, that could be a rough ride. Down here, we're in kind of a different animal altogether. We have stronger HOAs than we did in 2008. They built up reserves, learned their lesson. We have, again, fewer levered properties. And more than anything, look, we still have people moving down here at record numbers, and that isn't going to stop. This may stop for a temporary period of time because we don't want anybody coming into the state of Florida that has been quarantined. But once that passes, people are going to keep moving down here. There's just too many advantages to living in Florida. So I do think that we'll escape this relatively well. Could there be a pullback? Sure. Is it going to be brutal? I just don't think so. I guess the last couple of things I have to say is look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I want to be realistic. Even when we come out of this, we're only a month away from hurricane season. So again, I think it goes into, if you were going to sell, these are the reasons I'm telling you to price aggressively, because when we get through this one thing, we may bump into another one. I mean, we have hurricanes every year. Hopefully they miss us. But, we tend to get shut down for a number of days, even if something doesn't hit us, but it's coming close. So all these things in mind, all the more reason to list if you were thinking about it. And hey, look, if you're just sitting at home this week and you're bored, you want to talk real estate, I got nothing to do right now. So give me a call, shoot me an email, and hopefully soon here we'll get back to some normal real estate data for you. So take care, everyone. Be safe, and we'll talk to you.